What's up, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a good end of the week and getting ready for the weekend. Let's go over some very exciting news today that Plarium dropped for us in their raid digest. I want to say, like, I speculated on this, and it's almost, there's some keywords in here that basically lined up exactly to what I relayed over to you guys in my previous video about Wixwell and how the Hydra clash was going to change. If you guys recall, in that video, I was very convinced that my conversation with one of the Plarium community managers basically directed me to the idea that it was going to be a sure thing that teams like Wixwell, mechanics like Shield, and all the existing teams for Hydra will change in some way. And with this new digest information, it looks like that is 100% going to happen. There's been a lot of conversations about how their code was ambiguous or some of the wording was ambiguous, but honestly, based on what I heard and what was responded to me, it looked like 100% it was happening. And with this digest, it looks like that's all but confirmed. Let's jump into the digest here and we'll talk about everything that's happening so far. There's actually some really juicy stuff in here. So what is the fuss about Wixwell and Hydra? So recently there have been talks about us taking action to nerf Hydra. Yeah, there's a lot of drama recently. Not really drama, but a lot of conversation about the whole Shield mechanics, Shield teams, Wixwell in particular, because Wixwell, was the community fusion and all that. So a lot of that happening. And this all stemmed from Nubkex talking about this piece of code that was in the game for a couple of weeks now. And Saf briefly touched on it on one of his videos as well. It's now, it's kind of crazy that Plarium actually responded so quickly, which makes me think that they probably have some kind of change happening really soon, actually. So they're saying, as for the Hydra mode overall, we're already implementing a system of constellation rewards for players in clans who perform well but didn't get 1 to 3rd place. Yes, those are great. Those are great changes, can't lie. Now we are nearing the phase of rebalancing certain battle mechanics for both Hydra and champions. Again, I mentioned this in the video that I was talking about, that they were working on both mechanics and champions. So you can kind of see the notes right here that I basically put into my Wixwell video. Like I said, the notes, not quoted or anything like that, but they're there. And you can kind of compare it to what they put into the digest today. So it's saying that they're going to work on champions and mechanics of both Hydra and champions, of course. And they're talking about a complex solution that will influence many aspects of the Hydra battle. So stating that Wixwell will remain completely unaffected would be inaccurate. They even used the exact word that I quoted. So I know some people were calling me like bullshitting and all that stuff about where I was getting this info from. So I hope this gives me a little bit of credibility for people that actually think I just cook stuff up for videos. Like, it's kind of amazing and crazy. But this one time I want to just say that it was true. All right. In essence, the changes in question are aimed at preventing the few overpowered teams from thoroughly dominating any other champion combination. So they're not looking at Wixwell particularly, but he is in that category, guys. They will never say, yes, we're targeting one champion. They're actually going to do a bunch of champions, a bunch of teams will be affected, and even all of Hydra will be affected. Right now, anything is on the table, okay, guys? And then lastly, we'll get more information of the rebalance closer to the release date. So like I said, extensive testing is delaying, and then it'll be affecting many teams. Mechanics will be rebalanced and will be announced closer to implementation. There you go, guys. Exactly, pound for pound, basically exactly what I paraphrased here in their daily digest. All right, so I hope that's clear. I didn't just make stuff up, pull stuff out of thin air and out of my butt and just put it on a video and tell you guys that's true. But yeah, so that's the first part of the Hydra stuff. Like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're going to touch Wixwell, but honestly, I think it's for the greater good. Hopefully it doesn't affect Clan Boss, because I feel like Clan Boss is probably the part where Wixwell really helps the most, especially newer players. For late game players, if they take away Wixwell, I think they can still survive. Like, late game players can still kind of make something work, especially if the whole landscape of Hydra will be changed. But I feel like if Wixwell was changed in Clan Boss, I think there'll be a certain range of impact. And I think it has a higher chance of impacting negatively in Clan Boss. So I hope that whatever they do, they change Hydra and then it affects Wixwell. So Wixwell can continue to be still good in Clan Boss. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, it looks like it's going to be complex. I just hope it's going to be better than their polymorph update after that long-awaited wait for polymorph to get updated. I just hope it's going to be better than that, at least more impactful, I guess. There's a couple little bug fixes that never really bothered me, so not really worth talking about, to be honest. And then the last bit of news here is actually super, super important. It actually, to my surprise, they actually released the Asgard Deck of Fate details here, which is super, super exciting because they usually don't give us something like this so early. So when we take a look at the calendar here, today's the 4th. On Friday, they're giving us the heads up for the 7th, the Monday. So far, it's not even in the calendar yet. But the Asgard Deck of Fate for Freyja will be on the 7th. Starting on the 7th will be a Deck of Fate. We knew it was going to be a Deck of Fate for her. And it's going to be 100 fragments to pick her up. We knew that already. And the events in question will be summoning soul stones. So soul stone summons, as well as upgrading champions, which is basically champion training. So I think the vast majority probably thought it was going to be shards because it just makes sense to be shards, right? Because shards, cost the most money, is most easily, you can easily buy shards and easily transact shards. So it's an easy buy sell transaction for a champion like Freyja. But in this case, they're actually making it a little bit more difficult because it's soul stones, which are probably more expensive on average, and then also champion training, which also requires you to be playing a little bit more intensely, right? And it might even cost you more money than just having sacreds or shards or whatever. So it's only going to be soul stones, only going to be training, no third component in that event. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. They're placing it right inside of a CBC. So you guys have the option to basically go crazy on the deck outside of the CBC or wait for CBC and then go crazy on the deck. The CBC will be non-personal rewards. They did specify this. It looks kind of weird because it says CBC tournament and personal rewards. It actually no personal rewards are involved. So it might be beneficial for you to, do the Deck of Fate outside of the CBC just to lower your points. It depends on your clan, right? Depends what your clan wants to do. If your clan wants to limit its total points, then you do it outside of the CBC. If you want to boost your points, then you do it inside of the CBC. But there we go, guys. We have Freyja. We know exactly what we need to do with her. And we even have 3 days to kind of prep for her. This is actually really, really important information to give out pretty early because we actually have an event right now that has a big soul stone in it, and it's the champion chase. There's a big soul stone in the champion chase. I just finished the champion chase tournament. I pulled my void shard. So if you guys watched my previous video, is all my void summons. I wanted to get the big rock because this is a good event for value. You got 2x voids with the champion chase, with the fusion I'm going for. And then there's a big rock here. So the big rock is going to help me finish the Freyja a little bit easier. It just means I just do less training. Training is just arduous sometimes, but it just means I do less training. But it's kind of nice to have the 3 big rocks and I'm ready for it. Usually in this case, it's probably going to be a rush version. So it's just going to be stone value. So it's not going to be whatever you pull, it's going to be the value of the stone. So the big stone will be high value, the medium stone will have some value, the small stones will have the lowest value in a rush format. In a chase format, then it's determined by the value of your pull. Pulling the small ones might be better because you can always get lucky and get a really high value soul from the small one, and then save the bigger ones for a rush version as opposed to the chase version. We don't know right now if it's 100% going to be the rush version, but so far it has been. I think only one of these events have they switched it up and changed it into a chase version. I don't know, maybe testing the analytics on their side or whatever. But yeah, so Both my accounts are going to be ready to go. I mean, almost identical in terms of stones. I have roughly 11, 12, and then 3 big ones on the other account as well. I've gotten these big ones from champion chases recently. So the last one I got was from the 2x ancient chase, which I maxed out, and I got the big rock as well. So, you know, these rocks, these big ones are really, really hard to get, especially if you don't go super deep in summoning events. But lately, the last couple summoning events were pretty good, like the 2x ancient one, and then we had the 1+1 sacred one. That was pretty nice, and there was a big... was there a big rock there? I forgot where I got the other big rock. But anyways, I've been holding on to these for a little while, gathering them up. But here we go. We're going to use them for the Freyja event. There's probably going to be no boost or anything like that, but it's going to help me out in terms of just, you know, making it easier from the training standpoint. We can take a quick look at Freyja. And again, I will stress that I did play test her on the test server maybe like a month ago. In terms of how impressed I was of her, she's good. She's going to be, you know, kind of a game changer for some people, but for some other people, she'll be like, meh. I think she definitely has some use, especially in Arena. She does have some use in Hydra. I think this is a little bit underwhelming. The 25% chance is a little bit underwhelming. It's not particularly strong. This is really nice. Her shield is really big, and she can apply to increase defense on herself, which is really good. And her passive is really good, right? Her passive is unique. And, you know, we might not know the full extent of how good this passive is in the future. If you guys can pick her up without breaking the bank or destroying your account, I would probably recommend doing it. My thinking is that you can always recover gems and brews and chickens and stuff, but this champion you might never get again. And if you guys can like stress out, you know, stress yourselves, you know, extend and do her event over like a couple days, I think it's probably going to be worth it. She's also going to be a fragment, so you can just basically have her in your portal for, you know, a champion chase, right? You can have her in the portal for a future champion chase or whatever. And yeah, she's just going to be repaying you the value that you invest into her. So in my opinion, I think, you know, she's kind of a no-brainer to go for if you have the resources. But if you want to chill out, you know, it is what it is. It's not going to be an easy event because obviously stones, big stones especially, and then training. Training is not necessarily that easy. We don't know the values yet of the training component. Hopefully nothing too crazy in terms of differences from the previous ones. But it's going to take a couple thousand gems in terms of overall energy. And it's going to take a lot of like food champions to get there. But you're definitely going to need to grind it out for her, for sure. You guys can check out my test server video of her. I had her in a hex set. I don't think her A1 is good enough to provoke by itself against the head of Hydra, the Hydra heads. But you never know what's going to happen with the whole Hydra clash thing. So maybe, you know, who knows what's going to happen. That's also another thing, right? Like you never know what's going to happen. Maybe her value skyrockets. But anyways, good champ. Nothing super bad about her or anything. She's actually going to be very good. Too bad the Deck of Fate will be a little bit more difficult, especially for earlier game accounts to complete. But it is what it is. Plarium throwing a little bit of a curveball there for us. Yeah, it's not going to be as easy as just saving shards and summoning, unfortunately. I mean, I was ready, right? Like, I got 50 sacred shards on my alt account and then 54 on my main account. I was ready to throw sacreds, no problem, to get the deck done, but it is what it is. Hopefully they give us something else where I can use my sacred shards for value. To cap off the video, I want to show you guys something. I didn't specify anything about this ever, but I was collecting some resources and I just wanted to open them on video just to see the crazy RNG, if there was good RNG or bad RNG. But I saved some of the reward chests where they have random rewards in it. So I want to open that on video with you guys. So you see here in the reward box, I saved these event chests here. So we'll pop these guys open and we'll see what we get. I don't know. I'm interested to see what this big guy was going to be. But let's open some of these up. So we got 5 charms, 5-star epic ore, 20 core hammers. I mean, like, so far it's been pretty dang useless. And the diamond chest, a 6-star chaos ore. I mean, like, these are basically pretty useless to me. I mean, the 6-star chaos ore is like the best, but I mean, I can buy 5 of these in the clan shop at one time, so it's obviously like not a big deal at all. The gold, you know, this is a gold chest, so it's low value, 3 dust, you know, and this last one 30 gems. I mean, you know, these mystery chests are such a scam, to be honest. So chasing those in like dungeon divers and stuff is just such a scam. And then on my alt account, I'll hop in and open the chest here as well. 5 charms, 60 gems, I guess better than that 5-star epic ore, 30 core hammers instead of 20, and then here's the big diamond chest and an XP barrel. I'm sure the XP barrel and the 6-star chaos ore is like 40% each or something, and then the chance for you to get like what 1,000 of those top tier coins or whatever is probably like 1% or something, or the mythical book. I don't even know if there was a mythical book in there, but yeah, basically a big scam with those chests. Never go all out on those, but I just wanted to get those and then just save them and open them on video to see what stupid RNG we can get. Obviously we didn't get anything super lucky there, but anyways guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of information for you guys in regards to the Freyja Deck of Fate and the upcoming changes to Hydra. Yeah, hopefully you guys are informed, and hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We'll be seeing you guys soon in the next one.